Hi, this is Francisco Pijan from vitalcoaching.com. We are talking about spiritual power, and the topic for this video is how to use your mind wisely. This is one of the key questions of almost any spiritual seeker. When you start, for instance, meditating, you hear very often that you have to stop your thoughts, stop your emotions, suppress all that, and bring in peace and silence in your mind. So the key question that rises is, are thoughts and emotions a bad thing for your spiritual evolution? And this is the question that I want to answer here. The key idea when we talk about the mind, I mean, this is at least my opinion, and it's something that really worked for me in my spiritual development and in the teaching that I'm giving, it is that you need to master your mind, right? You need to position yourself from a spiritual perspective and put the spirit in the center or core of your life. This means that your mind becomes an ally. It becomes a help, it becomes a tool, it becomes a vehicle that you use. And this vehicle is the vehicle of your personality. Very often within spiritual circles, and especially within Eastern cultures, you will hear that the ego is a bad thing, that the thoughts, emotions are a hindrance on your spiritual quest and on your spiritual path. Now, in my experience, it's totally different than that. In my experience, thoughts and emotions are a very positive thing. They are a very good thing. They are the architecture that sustains your personality. And if it wasn't for them, you would not be able to function within this world. Now, yes, you can tune your personal vehicle and kind of tune into a higher octave of existence, where you realize that there is a perfect synchronization between your spirit and your mind. It means that your mind no longer becomes a force that works against you with emotions and thoughts you don't control at all, but it becomes rather something, a force and a tool which is totally synchronized with the long-term goals of your spiritual evolution. And this is the moment where you feel really empowered in life. If you work within a system where you try to suppress thoughts and emotions and anything that has to do with the ego, or you start fighting a battle which is an ongoing, really terrible battle with a part of yourself that you want to get away from. And in my opinion, it doesn't really work that way. Embrace all aspects of your personality and use your emotions as a source of energy which is going to help you progress along the spiritual path. Something like spiritual ambition, for instance, is something that originates within the mind, right? It's a desire that you have, an intense desire to progress along the spiritual path. Now, this desire is a force that is going to help you conquer these territories with lots of passion and lots of excitement. If it wasn't for this desire, you would stop straight away, right? There would be no need to move. So you would stop, life would stop. So what keeps you going is really the fact that there is a quest, there is a desire, there is a need. And this need comes, at least in part, from the mind, on the mind level. This is a tool or vehicle which is being triggered by these questions, and it's because of this quest, this desire that rises within the mind and within the emotions, that you start searching for answers. So all that, when you put it within that kind of context, it all makes sense, and it's a totally powerful thing and positive thing. So where does the idea that the ego or the mind is a bad thing? I think it has to do with the fact that when you are meditating, if you feel like you're trapped within thought patterns, thinking loops, like I described them earlier in other videos, when you're trapped within these thinking loops, then eventually you don't manage to really break through. So what you have to do is be able to function with your mind, adding different qualities than just thought patterns. Because if you function within this reasoning circle, eventually you get stuck. So what you need to do is access other ways of using your mind, which is manifesting peace at will, for instance, or using your instinctual power more, or tapping into this sense of knowledge and experience just by touch. There are lots of ways of using your mind which are extremely sharp and extremely powerful, and thought patterns are only one aspect of the mind, only one way of using it. So there is much more on this topic. I'll be back soon with more answers. Take care and bye-bye.